So let's take a moment in all of this hustle and bustle of all the holiday noise and take a moment to breathe before the year ends. I know how it is. We're all running around like a rat race with so many things to do. And we just need to take a moment right now. I invite you to take a moment to understand yourself before you start chasing the next new version of yourself for the new year. Not a recap, not a goal setting session, not a finishing strong speech, just a simple reflection that most people will skip, but it's absolutely needed. Because before you step into a new identity for the new year, you need to understand the person who lived through this one. Put your to-do list away and let's hit the reset button. Be honest with yourself. There's something about late December that brings out every emotion all at once. You're grateful, you're exhausted, you're hopeful, you're frustrated, you're proud, but annoyed. You're all of the above and usually all in the same afternoon. We don't talk about this enough because there's a pressure to wrap the year up with a pretty bow, like everything should make sense by now. But life rarely cooperates with this calendar. Some chapters ended without closure. Some goals drifted off. Some dreams surprised us. Some things that you prayed would work out did not. And on top of that, you're bombarded with everyone else's highlight reels. So if you're feeling scattered or reflective or unsure, that's good. It means you're paying attention. It means that you're human. You know, in my upbringing, we were taught to pause before stepping into anything new. Not in a dramatic way, just in a grounded spiritual way that said, look inward before you look forward. And that's what I want to do with you today. Most people look back at their year and ask one question: how did I do? And usually that question turns into a report card of some sort. Did I achieve enough? Did I grow enough? Did I hit the goals that I set out for myself? Did I impress myself? Did I disappoint myself? But I kind of feel like that's the most unhelpful reflection that you can do because it rates your year instead of learning from it. Let's go into a different kind of reflection. One that isn't about performance. One that actually prepares you for who you're becoming. Instead of asking, how did I do? Ask, what did this year reveal about me? This question will hit you a little bit deeper and invites more truth, not just a grade or a rating scale. What did you carry this year that I was never meant to carry alone? This is the first question I want you to ask yourself. This is the first reflection prompt. What did I carry this year that I was never meant to carry alone? Think about the pressure you took on, the people you tried to hold together, the expectations that weren't even yours, the emotional weight you didn't talk about, the responsibilities you inherited without even noticing. Most of us carry things out of habit. We say yes out of reflex. We hold everything because we always have. And we don't even pause long enough to notice how heavy it's become. It's not about blame, it's about release. You can't walk into a new year carrying the weight of 5 old years on your back. Something has to be set down. Something has to be shared. Something has to be rewritten. Even saying it out loud helps. This year, I carry things I didn't need to carry. You can acknowledge it without judging yourself. You made it through, and that's the point. The second reflection is, what did you learn about how you handled life? What did you learn about the way that you handled the pressure, the joy, the change, the uncertainty? Because whether you realize it or not, this year taught you something about your own patterns. Maybe pressure brings out your creativity, or uncertainty makes you freeze. Maybe joy makes you pull back because it feels unfamiliar. Maybe the change brings a version of you who is even braver than you expected. There is no right answer here. There's only awareness. You can't evolve what you don't understand. And you can't understand what you never stop to look at. That's why reflection matters. It doesn't fix you, it reveals you. And once something is revealed, you can work with it. It becomes a lot easier to work with and to grow from and to learn from. The next prompt is one that people resist the most, really. What part of me is tired? Wow, this one really hits home. I mean, I tell you, this year for myself, I've been very tired. I've been exhausted mentally, spiritually, emotionally, even physically at times because of carrying things for others so much and carrying a lot of weight from a lot of unresolved things that I have not had a chance to take a time to reflect upon. You know, it's not about what part of you failed, what part of you didn't hustle enough, what part of you is just simply tired. Maybe the version of you who always has to be strong is tired. Maybe the version of you who overgave is tired. Maybe the version of you who is just trying to please everyone is tired. Maybe the version of you who constantly doubted themselves is tired. You don't have to drag that tired version of you into the new year. You can let them rest. You can retire them. You can thank them for getting you this far and then gently move forward as someone new. Rest is not a weakness. It is a preparation. It's a necessity. You know, it's completely normal if your year didn't come together neatly. Most of life happens in the messy middle, in the chapters that don't even have clean endings, in the seasons where you're learning while you're living, in the moments where growth doesn't look inspiring. It's just exhausting, actually. But nothing about that makes you behind. Nothing about that makes you off track. It makes you real. It makes you human. And being real is the most powerful place to start a new year from. So the shift that we're walking toward, the reflection is the doorway to identify the work. The identity work is the doorway to transformation. And transformation is where your next chapter gets written. Most people skip the reflection and jump straight to resolutions. Then the resolutions fall apart because they weren't built on truth. They were built on pressure. You, on the other hand, are taking a more honest path, a more grounded one, more effective. And these last episodes of this year, as we wind down, I'm going to talk a little bit deeper about all of this. Not about goals and not resolutions, identity, who you believe you are, who you allow yourself to become, and how your belief shapes you and your decisions before you even realize it. But I don't want to rush you there. You don't need to jump into big plans or grand visions. For now, all you need is this moment, this reflection, this pause, the space where you get to understand yourself without judging yourself, because the version of who you want to enter into the new year deserves to be chosen and not dragged. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I hope this episode gave you a little bit of clarity, a little bit of comfort, and most importantly, a little space to breathe. If any of these prompts hit home for you, share them with me. Send a DM, leave a comment, or tell me which part of this reflection you needed. I love hearing from you, and your stories inspire future episodes more than you know. Take the next few days to slow down and sit with yourself. You don't need to fix anything. You don't need to prove anything. You just need to understand who you've been this year. And in the next episode, we will start talking about who you're becoming. Thanks so much. Feel free to subscribe, share this with anybody that may need this message. Thank you. Until next time.